100% cash grab. Now guess what? Guess whose name was on my test? Now my physician. Guess it. Come on, y'all know him. That's it. Dr. Strang was my physician. I'll show you the proof. I have the paperwork. He has corporations, side jobs. Nova Scotia Health, Public Health, Ontario Health, World Health Association. I'm not going to use acronyms here. I'm not going to use anybody's name. I'm not going to mention anybody's name about government. We all know who all these people are. There's one thing you have to know, and we all know it. We all know stuff. We all know stuff, don't we? But do we have knowingness? Do you have knowingness? Do you get up and actually go and find out if it's true? I do. I've been out of Nova Scotia. I rescued my mom right here from Brockville, Ontario 4 months ago. They're going to put her in a nursing home. I drove through the lines 4 or 5 times. They asked me, where are you going? Going home. What's your address? None of your business. None of your business. Charter of Rights, Constitution, Bill of Rights. Show them in your window. Answer no questions. This is my story here. Okay, let's go back to my story coming home. So guess what I'm doing in Orlando? I'm on a worldwide global information network conference of imagination, health, freedom, and wealth. That's what I do. I speak on this stuff. Right? Never get so attached to yourself to lose your truth. Every one of us were born with everything. We'll never have again what we had when we were born and brought in here. What are you pointing to? Okay. All right, thank you. I'm ready to get caught. They've been all over me in the airport. So I get into the airport. I do a PCR test in Orlando, Florida. I go to the day before I fly. I go to the airport. I don't have my test until back.
Oh yeah,
I get to the gate.
he's supposed to be on quarantine, eh?
At the gate in the airport. Now, if you see, you'll see this online. You can see this on Facebook. I videotaped it with Dina Churchill. Anybody know her? Big hand for Dina Churchill, eh? Yeah, she's amazing, right? Well, she was my advocate online. I had her in my hand. She was talking me through all this because I was nervous as hell. Like I am right now. I'm really nervous. So I get into the airport. I have my PCR test, and they make me fill out an Arrive Can. Arrive Can. Anybody got those? You guys don't know what that is? You know why you don't have it? Because you're not traveling. So you don't have to get the app. So now, on my way back, under force, under duress, they're making me download Arrive Can on my phone. Right? Do I have a phone in my hand? I don't even know how to use the damn thing. Right? And then they stopped me. They said, well, we'll help you. So I had Mimi, Elaine, and Glenn. I was driving the car here. Right? You get a lot of attention that way. Right? You wear the right stuff. Look at this guy over here. Look at that. Look how he's dressed. Isn't it amazing? Stands right on. Give him a big hand. Give him a big hand. What did I tell you this morning, Denise? I'm going down here. I had to get down on my what? I had to get down on my what? My suit. I don't usually come out with a suit on. I came home with the suit on just for intimidation. So I'm at the airport. I go through customs. I clear customs. I clear border patrol. And I walk up to the custom gate and hand in my paperwork. This is when the nightmare began. On that piece of paper, the only thing that was true on that piece of paper from Orlando was I was a male. My name was Larry Adams. Right? The date, birth date, I'm 20 years old. Don't I look good? Right? 20 years old I am. My email address was larryadams944@icloud.com. My email address is, my email address is Larry Adams Jim, Global Information Network, Jim at gmail.com. That didn't match. The date was wrong. The date on it was the 11th. I got the test on the 15th. The only reason I got on that plane is I read it before I got on. And I moved it over so it said male Larry Adams negative. If I didn't do that, and then God love Elaine, she saw that. And then when I went back up to go on the plane to check my gear, Mimi says, we got to see your negative test. Elaine says, no, he's good, I saw it. She only saw what I wanted her to see. Or I wouldn't have been on that plane. I get on the plane. I said to the guy beside me, I'm not wearing a mask on this plane. He said, well, you have to. I said, no, I don't. I'm not doing anything. I'm in the front seat. Nobody can see me. I'm right in the right front of the seat. I'm telling you, I'm not wearing a mask. Well, I said, you don't have to wear one either. He said, yeah, why not? I said, we're just going to eat and drink all night. We're going to eat and drink the whole way home. All right? If you want to go out in public and you don't want to wear the mask, carry one of those shields with you. All right, I have a shield, and that keeps them quiet. If you haven't been to the airport, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. And all those immigrants you're talking about, they're scared. They're scared. Our government brought them in here. Yes, they did. But they're scared. They're being promised a PR. I have 15 tenants that are all Indian. I love them. I love them to death. I have African people. I love them. I love all of you unconditionally. Unconditionally. Because love is going to win this fight. Love is the only energy. Right? Stand up and smack someone's hand and say, I love you. Come on. Stand up and tell the person next to you you love them. Stand up. You'll feel it when you feel it. Stand up and tell each other you love them. This is what it's about. The people win this race. The people win this race. So now I'm in customs. I go past. What does the custom guy do to me? He hands me over to public health. Public health. I go up there. She says, you got to get another PCR test when you're in the country, day one. I said, no, I don't. And she says, well, did you fill out the AMCAM? I said, yeah, I filled out the AMCAM. She said, anybody else living in the house with you? I said, yeah, my mom, she's 83. Right here. Mom, stand up. Watch how she stands up all by herself. Look at that. Thank you. Georgina, thank you. Thank you. She recognizes I was 23 years Canadian Navy. I was in the war zone 3 times. Desert Storm, Operation Friction. She did. She did. I was born in 1960. All right? But on my last day, I'm 20. I'm going to live it all again, do it differently. So I'm at the gate. The nurse comes up. She says, so we have to get you to fill out this form. I said, I already did the arrive camp. What do you want? She said, we have to give you a PCR test. I said, I'm not taking it. I said, show me your identification. You're a nurse, right? She said, she had no identification. Every question you get asked by authority, you ask them the same question right back. Right? If you're not breaking no laws, you'll know when you broke a law. You'll get arrested. Right? I've been arrested before. I know. I know. So she says, well, you have to do this, and if your mom is over 85 or 65, she has to consent. I said, how's she going to consent? She's going to give us your phone number. I said, no, you're not giving my phone number. I said, give me my phone number or my address. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll do that Skype shit. You know where you call up and you get a picture? What's it called? Webcam? So yeah, WhatsApp or Messenger out there with a video. So my mom gets online. I'm holding. Sound like, you know, the show Want to Be a Millionaire? Where you got to call a friend? Well, I call my mom. She's on there, and she asked, Mr. Adams, you're over 65, and your boy might have COVID. Is it okay? Do you feel safe with him coming home and staying with you? She says, well, I hope so. He was in my belly. I gave birth to him. That's what she said. That's what she said.
That's cute, though.
So now I'm going through. I walk through. The police are following me. I got my own police department behind me. They're following me through. They can put me in another lineup. 200 people in it. 200 people in this lineup, all compliant. I said, I'm not going in that line. He said, well, you're not special. I said, no, we all are special, and we all got choices. We all get choices, and I choose to go to the short line. Why? Because I'm first in line. I'm the first person in that lineup. I'm not getting a PCR test. I'm here today for you guys. So then they moved me from that line, and I said, I want to talk to somebody from the public health, Toronto. So this little Indian boy comes out. He's dressed like us. There's no lab coat. There's no stethoscope. Is that what it's called? I don't know. On his neck. And I said, so what makes you the authority to be in charge here? Every person in there was of Indian descent. They all had masks on and shields and gowns. They were so scared. They didn't know what to do. Being promised a PR that they're not going to get. Their people, their family are not going to come over here. The government, people, take this one to heart. Be just to all. Be just to all. But trust not all. I'm a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. We all lie. And in politics, on the liberal side, you guys can draw the lines. And above the politics, the people, the rich, the elite, they lie to you, they hold their truths, they keep their truths, and they lie to us. The people, you, the people. So now I'm at the last game. I'm at a table with two Indian girls, no more than 20, 21, 22 years old. They want my passport. The cops are still there. I asked the cops. I said, did I break any laws? No, I didn't have to ask. I wasn't arrested. But they stood in my way. They made a barrier of peace. There was no barrier behind that. And all I had to do, and this is where I didn't do it, and I wish I could go back and do it, all I had to do was walk in. The gate was wide open, but it was being hidden by our police forces. In the next 8 years, 2030, people do your own research. I don't care if you're vaccinated or not, because you're a victim too. I'm not afraid of you. I'm afraid for you, because you're putting things in you. But I don't care. I'll hug you. I'm not going to ask you, hey, you vaccinated? Oh yeah, I'm going to hug you. Are you kidding me? This country, not this Nova Scotia pass, that's just the beginning. Then you're going to need one for England. Then you're going to need one. Look, what Bill King is it in Alberta? They have one? Ladies and gentlemen, they're victims too. They're turning Canada into a goddamn communist country. They're going to have high boots, and if you do something wrong, they're going to ask you, vaccinated or not, for your papers. Right? How are they going to know if you're vaccinated or not? The vaccinated have to show the papers, right? And if you don't have any papers, where are you going? Well, you're going to go and get some. They're going to force inject you. What was that? Fake papers. Listen, I buy cars, I ship them across the world. You don't think I can fix up a document for PCR test? Okay? So, I'm going to finish the story. I walked on with another couple, and I stayed in Toronto for the night. The next morning, I thought it was all over. I flew back to Nova Scotia. You got back to Nova Scotia, all the vaccinated, all the people with papers, went to the right line. But right next to her on the other side was the left line. The left line. So which line do I want? The shortest line, right? I actually wanted to turn it on, turn it over to the other side, because I don't want to be on the left side. I want to be on the right side, right? You know, the government said that, right? So I went through the line, and this time I said, Larry, this is not the time to run forward and jump in. You know, just watch what other people are doing. So I watched all the people lined up, the papers, and they had their phones out. Then I watched the line go, and as they got to the other end, there's two people there in yellow vests checking the document. The short line, one person went through, it was there. One guy at the desk stopping her to fill out papers. I would assume it was the 14 Act, right? So what I did, I had a cart this time, I had all my bags on top of the cart. And I'm in a suit, and I walked down the right line, over here, very close. As I got to the end, I swerved into the line. I turned and I walked out the door. Alright? Knowing this, one thing to know, but knowing this is what gets you through it by doing it. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to speak to you. My name is Larry Adams, and we're a global information network, and we're here for your freedoms. Right? If you have any questions for me, LarryAdamsGym@gmail.com. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Get up, give everybody else another hand. Come on.
Thank you very much, Larry. Larry what? Larry Adams. Wow. All right, guys. I'm not fortunate enough to have anybody introduce me, so I'm going to start my, I've prepared a few words here. When I'm done, Morgan's going to speak, so I'm introducing her now. She's going to lift our vibrations up after a little doom and gloom here, so everybody give